Hey, how's it going? Mike Marin here, and thanks so much for opting in for this video. And as promised, I'm going to show you how do you go out and generate high quality leads on demand. I'm going to show you by taking you over my shoulder. You're actually going to take a look over my shoulder. We're going to go inside my Facebook ads account over here. And during that, I'm going to show you how do you set up a client getting funnel. We'll go into my ClickFunnels account, and also how do you then set up an ad. How do you get it live? How do you get it generating leads? How do you get it generating high quality calendar appointments? So I'm going to walk you through all of that. And I'm also going to show you first the Facebook ad strategy that is working right now to attract high quality clients and high quality leads. So if you're in a state of your business where you need more leads, you don't know where the next customer is coming from, this training is going to be the solution. And my goal is really for you to be able to watch this training, go out, and then actually go out and get customers. I really want to provide results in advance. I want to prove to you that this stuff I'm teaching actually works. And you could see in the background here, I just fired up an ad. In the last 7 days, we got 61 new leads at 549, which is okay. Let me go back there. What happened? Let's go pull that up. And I got 5 applications at $66. So I'm super pumped with that. Let me pull back up the presentation. So I'm going to show you exactly how I did that. 5 applications at $66 is quite nice. And again, this is a brand new campaign, and I just fired up another campaign, and I'm actually going to walk you through how do you set up those campaigns so that you're collecting email addresses, you're putting calendar appointments on your calendar. So this is this presentation is for coaches, for consultants, for experts, for information marketers, anyone who has valuable wisdom or expertise and they're looking to get more high quality clients. This training will help you. So stick around. Number one is here's kind of like what we're going to cover in the next 45 minutes. I'm going to show you the 10-minute plan. This is really, if you're at a place where you're confused, this will help you get a lot of clarity. I'm going to show you how do you actually map out your goals. So whatever income goal you want, we'll build a plan to get there. We're going to do a business engine tune-up, and that's going to be really exciting. I'll show you what that is. I'm going to show you how to go out and use guerrilla lead gen. How do you, maybe you're watching this and you're on a shoestring budget. So there's plenty of ways to generate high quality leads without using Facebook ads. And oftentimes that should be the first step. You should use these guerrilla low cost methods, start to land a couple high ticket clients, then use that money, then create the client getting funnel. And then once you've created that client getting funnel, fire up the Facebook ads and then getting those leads coming in on a consistent basis. Like I said, I'm also going to have you watch over my shoulder, and we're going to create an ad live. And I'm going to show you how I set up my client getting funnel. I'm going to really show you how it's fast, how it's simple, and really how anyone can do it. I'm also going to cover the tools and the costs of what it takes to actually pull this off. So you guys have probably watched a lot of these trainings. You have a lot of questions. What's the software that I need? What are the best tools, right? I'm going to cover all of that inside this training. Like what I found, I've used Lead Pages, ClickFunnels. I've used all, I have GetResponse, Aweber. If that means nothing to you, don't worry. I'll tell you which ones that I recommend that you should get. And then finally, this is really going to be the first. Like I want to really build a relationship with you. And to do that, I'm going to be sending you more high value stuff every single day. So if you would like to see the results of this case study that we do today, this ad that I'm putting out, and get more training on how do you get more high ticket clients, how do you attract more leads, what I want you to do is go to Mike Marin, add Mike at MikeMarin.com to your contacts. Whitelist it. That way you'll get all of the emails. And also, if you guys have any questions, if this has been valuable to you, shoot me an email, Mike at MikeMarin.com. That will go directly to my email address, and I would love to hear from you. And also, if you want to learn more, I will speak about an opportunity for you guys to have a breakthrough call, but that is after we go through this. So really quickly, does this sound familiar? So right now, if you start out every month unsure, uncertain about where that next client or work might come from, could your income be described as a roller coaster, a cycle of feast and famine, where you have some months where the cash pours in and then it's separated by dark voids of very little? Do you feel right now like there's just not enough hours in the day and you're putting in too much time and effort without enough to show for it? Are you afraid to raise your prices because You're afraid that if you do, you'll lose customers. And even though deep down inside, you know you're worth more, do you see others in your industry making the kind of money that you want to be making, but you're completely puzzled to how they're doing it? Like you hear people, these numbers of $100,000 a month, $200,000 a month, or even you're just like, how can I get to 100 grand? Do you feel like online marketing is an important pillar, but the tech stuff just totally confuses you and you haven't figured it out? Well, I'm going to show you how to do all that in this video. And finally, do you feel like your income has hit a plateau and one that you haven't been able to bust? Well, the good news is that is not the real problem. The real problem is not any of those. The real problem, if those sounded like you, is that you don't have the formula. And what's really cool is I'm going to walk you through that formula here so that by the end of this training, you will know exactly how do you go out and generate high quality leads? How do you generate clients on demand? How do you do all of that? Nothing held back. I'm going to give you it all so that you could go out and you could apply this in your own business. I'm going to also show you how I'm doing it in my business and how you can model that. So before we actually get to lead generation, like a lot of people, they just jump right into lead generation, which I think is a total mistake because we want to know how many leads do you need to hit your goals. And I think of it this way, like your business is your engine and the lead generation is the gas. And depending on how you build that engine and depending on what the destination is, how much gas you actually need to reach that destination and how quickly you do it is going to vary. So we first need to figure out, what's the destination, right? What is that income goal? What's that lifestyle you're looking to create? After then, it's like, what is that business model, that elegant business model, which I'll cover. And then also, then we'll know, okay, how many leads do I need to then put in that engine so that the car then gets to the destination? So hopefully that makes sense. So the first question is this, like before you do any lead gen work, the question is, and I want you to take out a pen and paper right now and write down, what is your monthly income goal, right? Write that down. So I'll give you a second, take out a pen and paper, write down what that monthly income goal, whether that's 20,000 a month, whether that's 50,000. And I really recommend that you pick a number, not 10,000, because in my experience, you get to $10,000 in this business. And while some of you may be like, oh, that's so low. Some of you may be thinking, if I could just get 10 grand, I really urge you to pick an income goal higher than 10 grand, because when you get there, you're going to realize that it's not what you thought it was. And to actually, you're better off shooting for $50,000, $100,000 a month. And if that seems out of your reality right now, I'll show you how that's totally possible in this training. So pick an income goal. And then from there, what I want you to do is I want you to write down why you must achieve it. How would achieving this number change your life, your family, your peace of mind, your health? Really get clarity on how that's going to change things for you. What is that going to do? If you get to $50,000 a month in revenue in your coaching or consulting business, what is that going to do for you, right? How does that change your relationship with your family? How does that change your thoughts, your peace of mind? Are you no longer worried about bills? Are you no longer worried about where the next client's going to come from? How does that change your health? Does it allow you to invest in better foods? Shop at Whole Foods. How does that change your family? Does it allow you to take your family on vacations? Does it allow you to do, get a better car? Does it allow you to have better date nights with your wife or girlfriend? Or vice versa with your boyfriend or husband? So write down and really list those out so we can start to get leverage. After that, that's our destination. Now, and notice how we're doing all this before the Facebook ads, and you'll see why this is incredibly important, because if there's one thing that I can get across to you in this video, which makes me different from almost everyone out there, is that I'm very strategic. And that's why I get results with my clients, is it comes from a strategy point of view. And you'll see how this is being strategic instead of like just going into this video and being like, okay, we're going to get $1 leads. Stick with me. So engine versus fuel. And one of the things, right, when most coaches and consultants come to me or service providers, they basically, their business model is like that. It is a go-kart. It is not designed to go very fast. And what I want to do, and the most important thing that you can do before you start Facebook ads, is change that business engine to this, to a Ferrari. If not, at least get to the Toyota Camry stage, right? Ultimately, we want to have a business model like this. This is like you're charging $100 an hour, right? $100 an hour. You're doing one-on-one. No matter how many leads you get, the business growth is going to be slow. This is the $1 million engine. And really what that looks like is this. You have big ticket 1 and big ticket 2. And big ticket 1 is kind of your core offer. It's $3,000 to $10,000. And then big ticket 2 is that upsell. For some of you, that's going to be, and I'll show you how to set these all up in a minute. And if you're thinking, wow, that's quite expensive, don't worry. I will show you how. One of the most important things you could do is start to design more of a premium engine, because at the end of the day, it's going to be a lot easier. Like if you picked an income goal of $50,000 a month, if you're charging $100 an hour, $100 a session, it's going to be very tough to get there no matter how many leads you get. Rather, if we get strategic, if we really focus on increasing the lifetime value of a customer in your business, of a client in your business, and we get you clear on the premium mindsets, which I'm going to cover in a second, and we get your price up to $5,000, right? It's now just 10 clients a month. And that's only if you have big ticket 1. My last client who's now doing 6 figures a month, what we set up was big ticket 1, 7K, big ticket 2, 25,000 for a mastermind. This could also be if let's say you're a health coach. This could be your group program for 2,000, 3,000 if you're a relationship coach, and this could be your premium one-on-one coaching, and this could be $18,000 or 6 months, 6-month one-on-one for 18,000, or 6 payments of 3,000. That's a very standard delivery, and that's what I want to do for you now is design that engine, because once that engine is designed, you need a lot less leads to hit your income goal. And really it looks like this. We got our traffic. That's going to go to our bribe, our lead generation, which is either a value video, which is what you're watching now, a webinar, or a P4P, which stands for product for prospects. And this, you've probably heard this called as a tripwire or something along that lines, but that's kind of the flow, right? We have our traffic, which goes into our lead generators, which then we enroll them in our big ticket 1. And then obviously we're going to upsell into your big ticket 2. So if you're a coach, consultant, this is the model that you want to be moving into. And here's like the big shift you need to make, right? To design a big ticket offer is this. And you've probably heard this loads of time, but so this is probably review for a lot of you guys. Number one, and if you've been on like any of these webinars, this is review. But for those of you who haven't been on these kind of webinars, we need to get these fundamentals in place first, because if we don't have the fundamentals of having your elegant business model designed correctly, then no matter how many leads that we put into your business, you're not going to get to those income goals. Rather, I'd much rather spend the time on this. Let's optimize this first. And then you're going to see that we don't need that as many leads, and we can actually spend a lot more for the leads. So design your big ticket offer. One thing is, we don't price our offers based on the time we're spending to fulfill them, right? Because people don't want your time. We don't price your offers based off stuff, and we don't price based off of what your competitor is doing. So what I want you to do right now is, if you think about how you came up with your pricing, in speaking with hundreds, probably thousands of coaches, I would say 95% of them, this is how they price. They look at what their competitor's doing. They decide on their price. They look at how much stuff they're giving away. If they're giving more content, it's more money, right? Really, you got to understand, and this is the big shift to be able to sell premium price stuff, is we got to price our offers based off the value of the result you deliver. So of that service, what is the value of that outcome? And that is what you charge off of. Not off of how long it takes you to fulfill. If you actually work with someone and that result that they get after, if it's losing 20 pounds, what is that actually worth, right? Real key. Now, here's some sort of premium mindset upgrades. So the reality is this. Most coaches, consultants want to change a lot of lives and make a huge impact, but they aren't getting paid what they are worth. And here's what I want to cover. Mindset number 1 is this. How it starts is how it ends. So key. How it starts is how it ends. A lot of people have this mindset, if you're a coach, you're a consultant, that really what you're going to do is you're going to start out low priced, you're going to get going, and then once you get more established, you're then going to raise your fees. And while it sounds good in theory, it never actually works. So it can work, but very rarely. How it starts is usually how it ends, right? If you go out in the marketplace now and you get known as like the Walmart, the cheapest coach out there, like the cheapest health coach out there, it's very hard to then try to change that perception. It is much better to start out premium and stay premium. Mindset number 2 is premium brings out the best in the relationship, right? It brings out the best in the clients because the commitment's there. And your clients will actually get better results because those who pay attention. So premium prices actually brings out the best in the clients. And also, it also brings out the best in you. You see, if you guys have been giving away your coaching for free, like how pumped are you to really do that, right? There is something happen when you're coaching, when you're the things that you've spent time to learn, those gifts, like those skills, when those are fully honored, that is when magic happens. When people actually pay you, when they value, when they give you money, they're saying basically, I value you, right? I value that your expertise, I value your advice. So when that happens, it also brings out the best in you as the coach. If I was to, whatever your thing is, if I was to pay you $100,000 right now, what would you do? Like you would show up totally different. And also, you'd also have that much more money to deliver a much better service. You could perhaps, book a ticket for me and fly me out to where you are. And, you could fly out to them and you could do all sorts of stuff to really increase that experience and make sure the transformation happens. So mindset number 2, really key, is premium brings out the best in the relationship. Mindset number 3 is this. We want to use price as a filtration system. And you want to use it, I suggest you use it, as a filtration system to attract the quality of client that you want to attract. And the best example I could give for this is we see this all around us, but a lot of coaches and consultants don't use it. The fancy restaurant, right? That is really highly priced. They don't have that, the teenage, the broke teenagers in there, just because price is that filtration system. The country club, the price is high, and when you're in there, you're going to not have certain types of people in there, regardless of what it is. But what I like to do is, also like when you charge low prices, not like passing judgment, but what are the usual customers of Walmart, right? If you're charging on the low end of the market, you're basically the Walmart. And what's showing up is the bottom of the market. It's like, look at the clientele of McDonald's versus the clientele of a Morton's, right? It is totally different. And if you guys want to attract better clients, if you want high achievers, if you want clients that are actually doing big things, I highly recommend that you start to think of price as a filtration system to attract the quality of client that you want to attract. That's mindset 3. Mindset number 4 is low prices that actually harm your clients. When you give away your stuff for free, when you give away your stuff for cheap, you devalue your information. And because they're not invested, they often don't take action and they don't get results. Okay? Mindset number 5 is this. High prices actually reassure your clients that you are the best of the best. And whether you like it or not, if you're a coach, if you're a consultant, what we are selling is an intangible service. They don't know what the service is going to do until after they've worked with you. So before, they can only go off of their judgment. And how people judge services is usually based off of price. So if you're pricing very low right now as a coach, if you're a relationship coach and you're promising that you can save someone's marriage and you're charging $100 an hour, when that result is priceless, and perhaps you're dealing with a guy who's a CEO of a $1 million company, right? I mean, the guy wants to get his problems fixed. Like, for him not to lose his wife, he'd probably pay $1 million, maybe $2 million, right? There's a story that a guy told me who's one of my mentors, and he said that he was selling a $5,000 product for the organization that he was working for. And this guy who was worth $200 million had this headache. He worked this process on him, which finally got rid of these migraine headaches that he had. After the service was done, the guy donated $1 million to this organization, right? Because the value of getting rid of that was so big. So high prices actually reassure your clients. So if you can actually get the result, like if you can actually help people lose weight, if you're really good at your stuff, why are you pricing so low, right? Price premium to reassure your clients that you can actually help them get results. And if you're doing the other, sometimes the reason why you're not getting clients right now is because your price so low, people are looking at your prices and going, wow, this person must not be very good. Premium mindset number 6, buying from the best feels really good. Like you got to understand from their point of view, they want to invest in the best. I know when I go out, I look for the best coaches. And guess what? When I invest in myself through their programs, it actually feels really good because I'm like, yes, I am getting the best person in the marketplace, right? And that feels good to be able to do that, to be able to actually go out and get the right help. People, when people buy Lamborghinis and expensive cars, like you see how happy they are. Like when you give your clients, when you are the best and you give your clients that opportunity to invest, it actually feels good for them. People want to pay a lot and they want to invest in the best. So that's mindset number 6. Mindset number 7 is value is in the eye of the beholder. So the best way to describe this mindset is just because you think something is expensive doesn't mean your ideal client will think the same. Just like that story of that guy who actually, $5,000, this guy probably thought $5,000 for that service was big. And the guy actually donated $1 million to the organization, right? Because what you think value in your eyes is totally different. And it's also dependent on the person. If you're dealing with people, which I'll show you how to do, dealing with people that actually have money, it's totally different. And also, like if you look at paintings, like paintings are the best example, right? There's an art and science to pricing. If you look at a painting, you could look at one of those like $20 million paintings and some people wouldn't pay $20 for it because it's just a bunch of paint. And then, then there's some art collectors that for whatever reason, they're multimillionaires and they're going to buy that painting for $20 million. That's a painting, guys. If you're a coach, you're consulting and you're helping someone solve a major business or life problem, like you got to really get a grip on that. Like realize what you're doing is so massive. Mindset number 8, and this comes from one of my mentors, Dan Kennedy, and he said this. Actually, I read this in one of his books and I didn't believe it. And then the more experience I got working in this coaching and consulting industry, it became true to me. And this is that it's just as easy to sell a premium price item as a lower one, as long as you build trust and show massive value in what you have to offer. And number 9 is you decide. Like at the end of the day, you decide whether you're going to be the Rolex or the $100 watch. You decide whether you're going to be that first class or the economy. You're going to decide whether you're the Rolls Royce in the market or the Toyota, and no one makes that choice but you. You appoint yourself. You decide on your pricings. You're the CEO of your business. There's no one that's going to give you any certificate. Once you could get the result, you are qualified. Then your pricing is up to you. So hopefully that's giving you, some of you guys, some shifts on your own value and some pricing, because guess what? If we could do that, if we could get your fees up, guess what happens? All this Facebook stuff gets a lot easier because we have a lot more room for error, and getting to those income goals becomes a lot easier as well. So how do you create your core offer, right? I actually said I wanted to give you guys tangible stuff so that, I don't want to make this like most webinars or most trainings that you go on where it's all like what to do. And then, they want you, they want you to go on a breakthrough session and all this kind of, strategy session where it's basically like a sales pitch in disguise. So how do you actually create your core offer? Like you should be able to watch this right now and go create your core offer. So remember, you are not paid for your time or the work for you. You are paid to solve the problems. So the big thing is, number 1, you want to focus on one problem to solve, whether that's, helping a business get leads, helping a business get clients, whether that's helping someone lose weight, whether that's someone save their marriage, whether that the problem is they haven't found Mr. Right, whether the problem is they have low energy. If you're a life coach and you have all these different problems you could solve, pick one. The next thing is, once you've picked the problem that you're going to solve, look at your skill set, right? Write down everything you could do and then focus on that one problem you could solve. And the next thing is pick who you're going to solve this problem for. Pick one group and ask yourself, of that problem you could solve, who gets the most value when you solve this problem? And for me, when I had a freelance copywriting business, I asked myself that question. My problem was businesses in information marketing, they need a lot of copy and they need good copy. So the problem is they don't have good copy, which, that's the whole conversion process. So as a freelance copywriter, I could have worked for lots of different markets. I could have worked for people just starting up, or I could be working for 7-figure information marketers who had money and they knew copy was valuable. And that's actually who I chose. I started to work for people like Dr. Tom Orant, Alex Jeffries, and I started to work for my thing was, unless they're doing 7 figures and they have a big information marketing business, then I'm not working for that company. So same thing, once you've picked your problem, pick who it's going to provide the most value for, who would actually have the money, who would, once they recognize what you have, would be like, damn, this is a no-brainer, right? I didn't try to convince people they needed copy. If I went down to the local business on the street, they might not even know what copywriting is, which is salesmanship and print and, writing advertisement. But going to those 7-figure information marketers, they knew they needed copy. They knew how much value that was to get better copy, the time it would save them, and also how much value that would bring to their company. So once you have that and that, your next thing is to actually map out your program. So if you're a service provider, keep things the same as they are. If you're a coach or a consultant and you walk people through this stuff, what you want to do is you want to map out the escape route. And that is what we are paid for, right? The way I like to think of it is our prospects, they are on Hell Island. This is this place where they don't have enough leads. And they want to arrive to Heaven Island, where they're generating enough leads and life is great. Escape from Hell Island might be, they're 20 pounds overweight and they have low energy. And their Heaven Island is, they got a 6-pack, energy's amazing, and they found the love of their life, right? That's what everyone, that's what we get paid for. Getting them off of that current situation to that desired situation. And I call it the escape from Hell Island, and they want to arrive to Heaven Island, which is also what all of our marketing should be about, right? If you ever know what should I be saying in my marketing, well, it's, that's what they want. You tell them what they want, which is they want to escape from that Hell Island, they want to arrive to Heaven Island. So what I like to do is I like to take out a piece of paper, and on that piece of paper, I draw 2 circles and a line between it, and I write one, Hell Island, and then I write Heaven Island, and then I write the condition of what they're experienced at Hell Island, whether that's no clients, and then Heaven Island would be steady clients. And then from there, I jot down in a logical order, what are all the steps that they need to take to go from getting from their current situation to their desired situation, which is, number 1, most likely they need to fix, they need to do goal setting. Number 2, they need to fix their offer. Number 3, they need to learn how to generate leads without spending a lot of money, aka guerrilla lead generation. Number 4 is they need to learn how to do basic advertising. They need to learn how to set up a funnel that gets them inbound leads, right? After they do that, they need to learn how to close. So you could start to map it out. Like if someone's overweight and they're looking to lose weight, what are the steps? First step is always kind of like, what is their goal? Next step is maybe they need to learn proper nutrition, right? You teach them that. And the next milestone, we break it into milestones, whatever it is you're selling, and try to map it into 6 to 8 major milestones. And what's cool from that is every week then becomes part of your training. So you take that 80% that you're teaching everyone over and over again, and that becomes the basis of your online program. So every week you train them getting over that one milestone, right? It's a curriculum-based programs. The universities have figured this out. They're able to throw lots of people through a curriculum and help lots of people at one time. So that's kind of component 1 of the core offer. Component 2 is a weekly group coaching call. This is kind of like this industry standard best practice. I know a lot of you guys have seen this. This, and then a weekly group coaching call. So this we focus on the 80%. of the work that you're kind of repeating over and over again. These are the fundamentals. And obviously we don't just send them on their way packing. What we do is we add a weekly group coaching call so that you can actually still start to coach them and dial in that last 20% and work with them in a group, because it is a lot more powerful in a group setting. It's like although your clients may think they want to do one-on-one, it is actually like in a group, they are making that journey. And it's like making the journey up Mount Everest. You want to just make it with just you and your coach, or do you want to make it with you, your coach, and a whole group of peers? So you can not only can you hear the questions your peers are asking, but you could see your peers' wins, their successes, where they're stumbling, right? It is so much more powerful in that group setting than the one-on-one setting. And that's kind of the way that I recommend you structure it. So you can, not only can you help a lot of people at one time, but you're also giving them, number one, just what they need, the milestones, right? You're not overwhelming them and bogging them down, which is one of the biggest problems people make when they create programs. And number two is you're spot coaching them on that weekly group coaching call. I use in my program a GoToWebinar, and I actually pull people one-on-one. So they're actually still getting that one-on-one coaching. It's just the rest of the group is listening in, and it's a very powerful experience because you could start to see not only what your problems are, but also everyone else in that class, what are their questions? And by listening in, you can all start to make, that change and that transformation to getting to Heaven Island. Some bonuses you could throw in is the 3-day live event. I do that with mine. So I do 3-day live event here out in San Diego. You could also do a private Facebook group, which is a cool little thing to add. And of course you could add some one-on-one calls, like if you really need to do one-on-one for your stuff, by all means, add that in. Just make sure that if you don't want to be a human robot, like over and over again, saying the same stuff. If there's fundamentals, throw them into the premium online program so that you can start to leverage your time. Make sense? Cool. So, and this, by the way, if you're solving a major business or life problem, this should be priced at $3,000 to $10,000. That's really what I recommend for that. Now, we want to figure out what is your average client value, and you do that with this little equation here. Core, how many is going to go to your back end, and you're going to figure out what is your average client. So for my business, for a bit, like this is not my business, but for an example, client business, let's see how this will work. You have 10 people, they join at $5,000, that's $50,000, right? 2 people upgrade to your mastermind, which is $25,000, that's $50,000. 50,000 plus 50,000 is 100,000 right here. Let's got a little bit of a typo. And 100,000 divided by 10 clients is $10,000 per client. So you could see your average client value, if you're upselling into your 25,000, is a $10,000 average client value. So what that means is we then create the 10-minute plan. Now the 10-minute plan is this. You guys can just write this out, and you actually want to be able to do this like on the back of a napkin at Starbucks, so you really know how do you get to your goal. So let's say a goal that I recommend for people is $500,000 a year. So let's say you want to make $520,000 for the year. That breaks down 52 weeks in the year to $10,000 per week. If you are running that business engine where you got a $5,000 program and a $25,000 mastermind, that's an average client value, and 20% upsell to get to that mastermind. That's $10,000 is your average client value. That means you need to make 52 sales during the year, which really means you need 1 sale a week of your $5,000 program, and you are now doing $520,000 a year. If you're converting 1 in 4 of the sales calls, that means you need 208 applications for the year. You need 4 applications a week. That's it, right? You need 4 applications a week. You close one of those into a $5,000 program, and you're hitting your $520,000 program, right? And let's say 5% of those, right? If 5% of the email addresses you get convert into applications, which is kind of low, you should do a little better than that. You need 80 email addresses per week. So do you see how that works? You now know, like, Jesus, I only need to get 80 email addresses a week, And as long as it goes to the client getting funnel, I'm going to be getting 4 phone calls a week. 1 in 4 of those, if I have this business engine set up, that's all I need is 4 leads. So then once we're very clear, we know that, we then go, what are our 90-day tasks? The 90-day task is 1, create a client getting funnel, launch Facebook ads, ask for 3 referrals, talk to 5 JVs a week. And then what are the daily rituals that you need to do in place to actually make sure this happens and you hit your income goals? And this right here is how you do it. So if you do 2 hours of marketing a day, which would be creating this stuff, you now know from the ground up what you should be doing on a daily basis to hit 520,000. Now let's just say that is numbers so far over your head. Let's just say that you want to make $104,000 a year and you're just selling a $2,000 core offer, or maybe you're doing $2,000 one-on-one, right? That means your weekly goal is $2,000 in sales. If your average client value is $2,000, let's say you're charging $2,000, you need 52 sales for the year, 1 sale a week, and it's the same thing. 25% conversion needs 4 applications a week. You're making $2,000 sale. You are now at $104,000 for the year. And again, the stuff is just the same. So does that make sense? You guys getting this? So that's how it works. And the big difference, right, is we're 36 minutes in, is I could have started with just the tactics, right? Like, all right, here's how to use Power Editor and here's how to do that. But you would have not known, like, you would have probably think you need like tons of leads and crazy. We now know we could be very kind of strategical, right? Like I was saying, like the tactics is like we focus. And by the way, 90% of Facebook advertisers, this is what they focus on. Like, how do I use the Power Editor? You know, what types of images work best? You know, the big thing is like, you know, these 30-second video ads and you retarget and like, how do I get the cheapest leads possible? You know, you see guys, you know, they're bragging about $1 leads and, you know, they got multiple different countries and, you know, third world countries and, you know, the ads where they're just trying to get the cheapest leads possible. Like, you realize those are very tactical questions. When you start to ask strategical questions, like, you know, what's the lifetime value of a client? You know, and then how do I increase that even more? And we did that by getting you clear on those premium mindsets and showing you how to set up a core offer, right? And then out of that, how much are you willing to spend to acquire a new customer? Like, if you bump that average lifetime value, like let's say right now you're charging $100 an hour, and when a client says yes, that's usually they do 10 sessions. So that's $1,000, right? If you can bump that up to $2,500, $5,000, right? By adding in more stuff, creating better packages, right? Getting your mindset right around premium prices and how it actually helps the clients. Like if you get your head straight on that stuff and we do the work on your head, and then we also communicate that value through a funnel, and you're now charging $5,000, right? You can now spend $2,500 on advertisements, and if it costs you $2,500 to acquire a client, you're doubling your money, right? You could spend so much more when we do this strategical thinking of raising our fees, and then also really getting clear on who our dream clients are and how do I focus on attracting them and only them in the most efficient way possible. So does that make sense? Are you guys getting this? And the big thing is, like, you need 4 leads a week. And what's crazy about that is, for a lot of you, I know you came here for Facebook ads, and I'm going to show you how to do that, but you don't even probably need to do Facebook ads to start out, right? So how to generate leads on demand, there's really 2 phases. Phase number 1 is go guerrilla, right? Phase number 2 is build your client getting funnel. So what do I mean by go guerrilla? Go guerrilla is do things that don't scale. And Paul Graham, he's the founder of Y Combinator, just Silicon Valley guy. He's helped Airbnb, and I think he's also helped PayPal. Just a really good entrepreneur outside of the sort of the self-help space, right? Real business. And he has an article that's just called "Do Things That Don't Scale," and he tells the story of how Airbnb, they started by going door to door and knocking on doors, and Stripe went to networking events. And when you realize that you don't need that many leads, you can actually start to probably hit your income goals with just these strategies. I have friends that are hitting $500,000 a year, and all they do is network, right? So obviously you want to move to that scalable, repeatable business model with Facebook ads, but your first step for a lot of you is going to be, okay, going to your friends, family, and fools, your network, going to your business associate, joint ventures, your past clients. If you have an email list, reaching out to them, getting some highly qualified leads from that pool, making some sales at that new price point of $5,000, and then using that money and pouring that back into Facebook ads, right? Do things that don't scale. And one of the best things you could do, and this is going to be, a crunchy, actionable takeaway, is if you have an email list, send out the 9-word email. And if you don't know what the 9-word email is, this is genius. I've used this to generate tons of leads from my email list. So if you have one, it's simple. Subject line is their name. All you say in the actual body copy of the email is, are you still looking to big benefit? Are you still looking to get more clients? And then you say, Mike. John, are you still looking to get in shape this season? Steve, are you still looking to more seminar? ? What's going to happen is they will start to reply if they're looking for that benefit. Do it from a Gmail. Find your hot list of prospects and send that out to them. You could even say, reply if yes, right? Mike, And once they reply, say, cool, tell me where you're stuck and I will see if I can help. And then get them into an enrollment conversation and explore whether your program is a good fit. Or you can say, cool, and then send them to an application, right? Sell the application a little bit, and then send them to an application. And if they're a person that is based off the application they fill out, if it looks like someone you could help, get on the phone with them and see if they're fit, right? But I'd really recommend sending this out. And I highly, this stuff works. Send out this 9-word email. And it works whatever industry you are. So what is that big benefit? And then send that out and get them into enrollment conversation and then enroll them into your new program, set up that core offer and enroll them into that. Now we're going to go to the client getting funnel. So once you've done that and you've now created a little bit of cash flow, the next step is to create the client getting funnel. And the client getting funnel is simple. This is how you do it scalable, repeatable. This is how you generate leads on demand. This is how you have highly qualified leads booking to speak with you. This is how you never hunt for clients again. This is how you stop doing the crazy stuff that I see being taught in this marketplace, like, podcast and, have a book and, all this content marketing. Like, you should be on Snapchat. You should, be posting stuff on Instagram. Like, you don't need all that. You just need one really simple, great funnel. And it starts with traffic to a landing page, to value in advanced content, which could be a video like you're watching here, a webinar, a PDF, to a conversion mechanism. If your core offer is less than $2,000, you could get away with a webinar, selling it by email. I've done that before. Video sales letter or a sales page. And if it's above, you're going to have them applying for a phone call. If your program is over 2,000, 3,000, they're going to be applying for a phone call. And what's really cool is by having this value in advanced content, you are the secret to making value in advanced content is you actually help them, right? And that's all I'm doing in this video. Like, I'm really showing you with the intention that if you watch this, you should be able to go out on your own and actually apply this stuff and get great results, right? I'm showing you where you are right now and showing you how do you get to a spot where you have steady, consistent clients. So what this does is it actually proves you can help them by actually helping them. You give them insights. Hopefully for a lot of you, the premium insights was probably a couple aha moments. You provide context and you also reduce your frustration because now you're talking to people who know, like, and trust you. They know what you're all about. So that's the conversion mechanism. And that's really it. So from here, we are going to go to watch me do it live. So as you can see here, I'm getting emails for $5.49, and this is the past 7 days, and we got 5. And I just fired this up. So we got 5 applications at $66. So how do you set one of these funnels up, right? This is what the funnel looks like. Is this. So obviously we have the traffic, which I recommend Facebook ads, and then we send them to a landing page. And my landing page, which you guys all came through, is this. Very simple. The simpler you make this landing page, the higher it's going to convert, right? Anytime I see people throw a lot of stuff on there, it just doesn't convert as well. Very simple. This should be the same headline as in your Facebook ad. Get free and instant access to the video by opting in below. Give it to me. And then this is built in ClickFunnels, like super simple. You could actually click here. I have below this training, you could also see that there's a link if you guys want to sign up for it through my affiliate link. That'd be super cool. But yeah, the simpler you make this stuff And again, this is like point and click in ClickFunnels. If you guys want, email me and I could do a whole follow-up video on how do you actually, the tech stuff. I just don't want to bog you down with the tech stuff now, but the tech stuff is really simple. And bog you down is probably the wrong word. Bore you is actually, I don't want to bore you by showing you how to set one of these up. But if you guys want that, email me that. I'll create a video on that for you. So once they opt in here from the Facebook ad, it just goes to a simple page like this. Again, this I made in ClickFunnels where, they could watch, click here and you guys are watching this video right now. I got some notes below, this, and again, the intention of this video is really to just help you guys, really just help you get closer to your goal of getting high paying clients, generating leads on demand. And then after that, if you guys want, you can apply for a high ticket breakthrough session, which I'll talk more about in a moment. And if you click on that, there we go. This is going to bring you to this page, which can be built in ClickFunnels. Again, I built this with Optimized Press, and this is Schedule 1. So what this allows you to do is get calendar bookings. So you can go here and, a pretty big, like there, click there. It shows you what calendar times you got open, and then you could build this application in Schedule once. And again, if you guys want me to show you how to do that, I create a video on that as well. But that is the basic funnel. It's just very simple. This page to value, and then you build here, and then obviously you follow up with a daily email every day. Very simple funnel. This was made, this video you're watching was made with Camtasia, and then it just uploaded to YouTube. So not a lot of tech, really simple. Whatever, this works in basically any niche where you solve a major business or life problem, this stuff works. And then you have them booked to the calendar. And what's really cool is it links with your Gmail and you see calendar appointments coming in, and then you track it all with Facebook. So I know, I'm getting 549, and I know 5 people have booked on the calendar to speak with me through just this campaign right here. So pretty cool stuff. So how do you actually go and create the ad? So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to pull this up here, and we're going to go through this really quick. I'm going to show you just how simple it is. So you go to here, create campaign. What we do is, hopefully this is not going to go super slow. Okay. Yeah, it hasn't come up yet. So let me give you like the best practices and what I've found. So I've studied basically every Facebook ads course probably on the market. When I go to dive in, I really immerse myself in it. And here's what I found. Number one, unless you have like a couple $1 million, I would not be doing any of this. As a coach consultant, we need phone numbers, we need email addresses, we need applications, we need calendar appointments. We don't need brand awareness. We'll get brand awareness as a side. This we're going to use for retargeting ads, but I'll cover that in a later video. This stuff, again, I wouldn't really recommend this stuff. This is definitely worthwhile, right? If you're in a business where you're just looking to get phone numbers, this is actually quite cool. You get phone numbers for $10. But for the majority of you guys, right, you're going to be using a conversion ad, which basically Facebook will steer your ads and optimize for a conversion. And a conversion would be like, them giving you their name and email address. So that's what I like to optimize for. I like to optimize for getting email addresses. And then from there, following up to driving them to calendar appointments. That's if you're selling a higher price thing. So right here, we're going to say lead gen, CGM vid 2, and we're going to say guru interest 2, because I've already picked out the interest beforehand. So you're going to just click continue. From here, you're going to select your pixel. Let's see if I don't want the application. I want CGM leads. This is a pixel that I actually threw on this page, and that's just a real simple piece of code. And let me show you how to get it actually. If you go here and you go to this all tools and you go to pixels and you open that in a new tab, you're just going to put this in this page, and the way you get it is you go on this page, you go to actions, you're going to set up the pixel, and then after that you do view pixel code, install this, and you're just going to copy this right here after you've created it right? Once you have the pixel, you're going to put this on all the pages on your website. And then after you do that, once it's on all the pages, you're going to go to custom conversions here. And then what I did is you're going to select, and here's how you do it. You go create custom conversion. You're going to do URL contains, not URL equals. And then you're just going to paste in just from here, which is what I did. I copied and I pasted that in. And then I chose the lead category because it's a lead. And I pressed next, and that's it. And then from there, Facebook will, because that code's on there, that'll tell Facebook every time that someone lands there and it came from the ad, which is able to track, it'll say that's a conversion. So that's how to set it up. Really quite simple. And again, this is done in the header code of ClickFunnels, which is really quite simple. You could use lead pages, you could use optimized press. It really doesn't matter, but you throw it in the head code of that. So you select that. From here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do United States. I'm going to just do the English speaking countries, not any like the third world countries, just the US countries, United Kingdom. And this is stuff you want to test. Sometimes it's cheaper if you just use US, sometimes cheaper if you use all these. But like, since I kind of run a global business, global small business, I'm totally cool with United States, Canada, United Kingdom, and Australia. I quite like those countries. And from here, we're going to go 25, and I'm going to go to 55 for my ages. So you can see this is the size over here. It's 192 million. And then from here, select all. Usually when you're starting out, like this is what I found for the lowest lead costs, is keep this kind of wide open and then use your ad to call out the target marketplace, and then let Facebook's pixel start to optimize and put it in front of the right pockets of people. When you make this like really narrow, that you sometimes can really cause the cost per lead to really kind of shoot up if you really try to target this. What I like to do is keep it broad on the Facebook ad and start to put in more kind of velvet ropes and more filters as they go through the funnel. So for here, we're going to choose and here's how you target. So you want to think like, who are the experts? If you're a coach or consultant, who are the experts that your people are following? What are the books they are reading? What are the tools they're using? And start to brainstorm that and just throw it in front of them. So like as a coach consultant, and doing Facebook ads, I know Adam Spiel's, one of them. I know Bill Barron's one of them. I know Kevin Nations is one of them. I know Jay Abrams, big marketing guy. Evan Pagan. Where's Marie Florio? Russell Brunson's another one. So we're at there. James Wedmore. Who else we got? We got Mike Dillard, Andy Jenkins. So Ali Brown is another kind of coach. Frank Kern is a big one. I kind of like to go after because again, I'm not concerned with like the cheapest cost per lead. I'm not trying to find like hidden gurus. I'm actually going after the most competitive targets, because I know, number one, I've raised my client lifetime value, and I can pay, $12.50 a lead, $100 an application. And if I'm closing 1 in 5, I'm still doubling, tripling my money with the numbers. So I don't need, like for me, anything under $7 email addresses, like I am thrilled with. I'll even spend $12.50 an email lead just because the numbers still work out. Like you want to backwards engineer those numbers at the different checkpoints of your funnels. So that's good there. I uncheck this one here. Go to edit placements. And this is key here. You don't want audience network, right? Just going to drive the cost up. You don't want Instagram. We're using long copy ads. Those work the best. So we're only going to do there. So 600,000 people, I'm cool with that. Anywhere from 500,000 to 2 million is kind of like where I shoot for these pockets of audiences. And right, always start with just the feeds, all devices. If you're running an automated webinar, you want to start with the feeds and just desktop. And then after that's working, you want to go to the feeds and then desktop only, right? You want to do you can select desktop only here. You start with that, but then once that's working, I would do all devices. And then when you do all devices, you can go here, and only when connected to Wi-Fi, That's if you're using an automated webinar funnel, which we are not here. So that's cool. So we want desktop, mobile, just the feeds. We don't care if they're on Wi-Fi or not. We're going to collect the email address. For the budget, I'm going to set this to $50 a day. You want to optimize it for conversions. I like this 1 day click just because I want to be, I want my numbers to err on the high side, rather than like they clicked on the ad and do that. And then you want to keep all this the same. And then I change this ad set name to general. This will be main ad set. Actually lead gen. Sometimes you keep the naming convention the same. So see how simple this is? Like simple Facebook ad. Obviously just follow along when you do this, and you guys should be getting really cheap leads. Like the key is you don't need, like, the power editor is not the key. The key is the copy, which I will show you, which I've written beforehand. Do continue there. You want to choose, I'll show you which ones work best. The single image right there. Real important, you want to go here, and I've done this beforehand. I'm going to select that image. Again, really key that this image is congruent with this image in the background. So you want an image, and they tell you the size here. It's 1200 by 628. One of my favorite places to get images is iStock Photo, and the other place is Canva. So canva.com. If you go there, you can create a Facebook ad there, a Facebook image there, and that you can size it by 1200 by 628. That's Canva. So that's actually where I got this image from. Just with the images, make sure it's not like stereotypical like what everyone else is using. Try to be a little bit different, and try to not use Facebook colors. And if you have good high quality pictures of you as the expert or coach, I definitely recommend using that. This is going to be the website URL where I want them to go, which is http www.mikemarin.com/secret. So that's going to pull in that. The headline. So I'm just pulling this. Oh no, that's not what I want. Hold up. I am actually going to pull this up here. So I'm going to throw this in here. So this is the ad that I wrote. Again, this is long copy style. And what I did to come up with this is I was just looking in my newsfeed, and I just kind of modeled one of the templates of a guy called Brad Campbell, who I actually know, definitely a good guy. And I kind of modeled his ad template and just threw in my own stuff. So you could model this as well. Attention coaches, consultants, and then like what if, add your benefits in, right? And I will do a whole video on how do you write these ads, because this is really kind of one of the most important parts. But you want to address objections and then give them a call to action, give them reasons why. You guys actually came in on this ad. So if you're watching this, this ad works. So this is the ad here. And I'm going to paste this in here. There we go. And then we're going to go watch me generate leads on demand is the headline. So that's there. And then the newsfeed description. And you notice like this is the same, watch me generate leads on demand is the same as the opt-in watch me generate leads on demand. The image is the same. The congruency is really how you get cheap email addresses, cheap and really cheap leads, because it's congruent through, and then here, newsfeed selection is that. read every word above. If it's a long copy ad, I like to throw that in and then click through. And then here, we're going to go HTTP. Oh no. Let's go www.mikemarin.com/secret. Just throw that in there. And then that's it. So we are done. Like, that is how you do it. You can see how it looks. I proofread that before. And all you want to do there is go place order. And like that, you have just created a Facebook ad that is now going to generate leads on demand. If we go back into the ads manager, let's go back into the ads manager. Probably just press continue there. And you will see that should have showed up. I think that's it there. No, is that there? Where is it? Let's refresh that. So it should be in here now because we placed that order. And there we go. We got 3 campaigns. There it is. Guru Interest 2. So we're going to wait for that. And in the follow-up video, I will show you how that ad is working. So I got 3 different campaigns here. This one I actually just fired up before we did that video. So that is really how it is done. And what I want to do now is I'm going to pull this back up. So here's the deal, guys. Like I said at the very end, you can definitely learn more. Shoot me an email if what you want me to cover. I'm definitely open to creating follow-ups. But I will be sending you a daily email with more of this stuff. Really just help you guys go out and get clients on demand. And for those of you who are like, listen, I get it. This is exactly what I need to do. I want your help. I want to do this, right? Because there's kind of 2 ways you could go right now. You can just get off this and kind of forget about it and go back to, your daily life, right? Go back to struggling, go back to, not being able to generate the leads and that kind of stuff. Or if you want to get this stuff done, if you want actually get real help, if you have questions on this, like, what does my client getting funnel look like? Should I use a video like this? Should I use an auto webinar? Like what does that look like for your business? Maybe it's like, can I really charge premium? Like what should my core offer look like? What should should I have a mastermind back end? All those questions, right? Because every business is different. If that is like, you have those questions and you want to get results really fast, then I would just like to help you even more. And here's what we got. So my team and I, we've opened up some time on our calendar over the next 48 hours for you to get on the phone, for us to get on the phone and personally help you apply these strategies in your business starting today. So here's how it works. We'll jump on the phone for 45 minutes. We will look at everything that you're currently doing. We'll help you not only discover those sticking points, that bottlenecks that are causing you to get stuck, but we'll then together put our heads together and we will craft on that session a step-by-step game plan for you to hit your income goals. Whether that's $100,000 a month, whether that's $20,000, whether that's $50,000, we will come up with a game plan. What does your funnel look like? What is that offer going to look like? How do you package, what you have into a high ticket offer? What does that look like for your specific business? We will create that game plan for you. And the cost for us to do that is 100% free. And we also help you get clear on like, who are the clients that you should be going after. Again, the cost, it's free. We do this as a complimentary service. It is our gift to you. It is our way. It is a way from my company to help you move to the next level. So here's who this is for. Obviously, we're offering this as a free service, but this is definitely not for everyone. Number one, you must deliver a valuable service and be able to help your clients get great results. You should be able to help them solve a major business or life problem. Number two is no shady biz op or other non-compliant stuff. We just will not work with people like that. And we don't want to really help you create a game plan for stuff that is not in our ethical alignment. And number three is you must be ready to take your business to the next level now. So if that sounds like you, and if you feel like you qualify, then I'd love to help you. We'd love to help you move to the next level. What I want you to do then is go here. You're watching this video here. Go down here, and you're going to click apply for a breakthrough session. You're going to click here, really simply. You're going to come up to this page, wait for this to load. And the calendar does tend to fill up. So on Friday, we got we've already booked up the entire morning. You're going to click here. And again, I will open up more spots depending on what date you're seeing this. Is going to be totally different. But you're going to click there and then just fill this out, put in some detail here, just really like non-evasive questions. Really, this is to determine whether or not we can help you. And it also helps us hit the ground running so that we kind of know what you're looking to do. And then we can hit that call. And in those 45 minutes, we could really put our head together and create an awesome game plan for you, help you get unstuck, show you how to apply these strategies to your business. Now, if you're asking, why are you doing this? What's the catch? Well, the reason we're doing this is twofold. Number one is we enjoy working with other entrepreneurs, and our kind of like the motto of my company is value first. That's why this is not, a what to do, how to do it type of presentation. Like, this was really crunchy nuggets that you guys can go out. There's a 9-word email you could apply. I showed you over my shoulder. How do you actually create a Facebook ad from start to finish that actually is going to go out and generate leads? So, we really enjoy that. And second, we know, like, at the end of the day, if we spend 45 minutes together and we come up with a kick-ass game plan and just show you like how much you're leaving on the table, strategies that you don't know, secrets that you don't know that are going to help you hit income goals faster, easier, and with less struggle, we know that like you may want our help taking your business to the next level. And if that's the case, and if we think you qualify, then we will discuss how that works and kind of explore, what would it look like working together, whether our client getting mastery program is a good fit for you, which if you do get invited to join that program, you'll be getting swipe files, templates, over the shoulder training on how to set this up, a support of a peer group, a 3-day live event here in San Diego. Like we could explore what that kind of looks like. And if we don't, or if you don't, want to hear about the offer, then that's cool as well. Either way, it's cool. But you will leave that being like, wow, this is one of the best 45 minutes I've spent working on my business. And there's no substitute for speaking to real human beings and getting real help. You could watch webinar after webinar, but unless you actually start to speak to real human beings and get real help, oftentimes you will struggle. So here's what to do next. Go to www.mikemarin.com/apply and apply for a complimentary breakthrough session. Again, the way to do that is if you go back to this page you're on, just simply go here, click on that button there, and let's go here. The catch is time is a factor. Like I showed you, there's only so many appointments on the calendar, and there are only so many hours in the day, and these do book up. I am going to start really upping the ad spend here. I have a winning ad, which you just saw, that's getting me appointments at $66. I practice what I preach. I walk the walk. I'm showing you how I'm generating appointments for my business. So I'm not out there, relying on networking, referrals, and word of mouth. I have people applying to speak with my company and that we're helping take to the next level. So if this is a fit, if you guys want help with this, if you want, the hand holding, the, help applying this, what I want you to do is go ahead, pick an appointment time that you like, fill out that short application, and we will call you. So with that said, I really enjoyed making this video for you, and I really hope that you have got a lot out of it. And regardless, take this and apply this stuff, because this stuff will change your business. And then even if you don't, sign up for a breakthrough session and this is not right, but go out and apply it and give me a testimonial, or just give me some feedback. Let me know how it's going, because this stuff works. I'd love for you to just send out a 9-word email, up your fees. And then with that, like, people always ask me, they want me to help. They want help for free before they go into the program. Well, you've just gotten the answer. Send out that 9-word email, network, get in some conversations, sell some more, at a $5,000 price point, and then take that money and let's go. Let's get it done. Invest it more in your business. Invest it more in ads. So with that said, I really enjoyed making this video for you. Be on the lookout for more videos. I'm going to be sending you one a day, just helping you more, helping you progress. And for those of you who are really serious, go down, book a time. Let's speak. Let's chat. Let me help you in person, and let's take your business to the next level. This is Mike Marin, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Cheers.